Good afternoon, Hotline.
Good afternoon. What was your opinion on the newspaper article on Councilwoman Burns' explanation for her mishap in December?
Well, I read the article, I read the news, and I don't know, I wasn't there, and so I don't know what the full range of the testimony was. I understand there were
kind of a far-reaching explanation, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't in court, so I didn't hear that.
I wasn't either, but I mean, it just really kind of stretches the imagination on how everything went down.
Yeah, I look at it as a...
I think she should put on her big boy pants and face the music.
And what would the music be?
And admit if she's got a problem with John Barleycorn, admit it and take care of it. Don't try to hide behind her kids and high-priced lawyers.
Yeah. Are they high-priced lawyers or just lawyers?
Well, I would say so. They're from Syracuse. I mean, they're not, they're not...
well, when you go
there when you want a good lawyer, I mean... Nothing against a law firm in town or anybody, but it's a little far-reaching, It really kind of gives you an idea of a manure spreader in a windstorm, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know about that, but when you're in that situation, you do what you can to defend yourself against the charges at hand, regardless of what the core circumstances are. Those you have to deal with. But, this case strikes me as very similar to a variety of cases you see about on Newzjunky every day, except it involves a public figure, so obviously it gets more coverage. But, suppression hearings and evidentiary hearings and arguing over this and that occur, or they should occur, in most court proceedings. And I don't know if it was any different. Now, whether or not you think it's right or not is another story.
Yeah. Now, does this out-of-town judge and this special prosecutor, did that come out of the city Watertown budget?
Not the city budget. No, the city court system is run by the New York State Office of Court Administration.
Okay, I just was curious on that point. Okay, then, thank you.
All right, thanks. I mean, a lot of this, in instance, I don't know, it's a criminal justice system. You got to have a prosecutor, and sometimes out-of-town ones are brought in, sometimes out-of-town judges are, depending on the circumstance. That's what happened with that noise ordinance case. But as far as the individual circumstances, make your own judgments, and I wasn't there, so... 755-1240 is the phone number. Good afternoon, Hotline.
Hi, Jeff. How's it going?
Good, Otis.
Well, I was just listening there, and why is it that when somebody else is in trouble, they always look at the bad side of it, never look at the good side of it? In my hometown, where I came from, I know that most of the people around here trying to shoot each other down. They wind up with concrete boots on.
Yeah, I don't know, Otis. I mean...
why is that?
I mean, we like to say, when we're being all pompous about our justice system, we like to say people are innocent until proven guilty, and then when they try to assert that in a courtroom, we shoot them down, saying, well, what are they doing that for? They were accused. They should just fess up and do whatever society wants. I don't know. I mean, everybody's entitled to a defense, and everybody's going to defend themselves, because even if you in life think you may have done something that you wouldn't do again or wish you had done differently, no one wants to face the maximum social sanctions that you could face by just sort of rolling over. So, people do fight things. And some people have more resources than others. I don't know. That's the nature of the system. I mean, it is so I don't know. I don't blame somebody for defending themselves.
Neither do I, but the thing is, it seems like you're just kind of beating the dead dog.
Well, to a certain extent, yeah, to a certain extent. But listen, it's when regardless of the people involved in this, let's put the names aside. When you have public figures, people that meet the definition under New York Times versus Sullivan, then it's fair game. Everything goes. But listen, there's a lot of similar things. One of the areas of child custody cases and all that, there's a lot of things that involve prominent people and stuff that don't get reported on for a variety of reasons. So one of the things I learned from being in the news business over the years is sort of a judge not lest ye be judged attitude, that yes, somebody may have done something wrong or something they would have done differently or should have done differently, but the amount of amplification it gets in the media isn't necessarily consistent with other exactly similar cases or even sometimes more serious ones. So not excusing anything, I'm just saying that you have to understand that what you're going to always get in a case involving a public figure is a more amplified view of things. I've been there. And, when you need representation, it's good to have it.
Get the best you can. Okay.
You do the best you can. Good afternoon, Hotline.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Two things, two thoughts I had on for Mrs. Burns. Number one, there's so many DWIs. It's practically a badge anymore of honor. There very few people don't have them. Those things it's terrible. It's just a joke. They instead of actually doing something about it, all they're doing is using the law as an instrument of plunder. Of course, the attorneys all like that law and whatnot.
Oh, sure.
But because she's a official on the city board, number one, those poor people on the board don't get paid enough to get their public service she's doing. She's doing a heck of a job as a public service, doing something for the community. She's serving the community. And people that are doing the most complaining, they would never think about running for a city position or serving the city or serving their government, serving the people in any way.
Right, I agree. I agree. I mean, similar type cases involving senior, department heads in county governments or something like that, or make 6-8 times as much money, generally don't get reported. I mean, prominent media people, same set of circumstances don't get reported. But again, it's not to say you should do that if that's what was done, and I don't know what was done. I wasn't there. I was in Adams at the time of the incident.
Well, that's right. The point I'm trying to make, it's no big deal. No big deal. Well, it should be a big deal is the fact that she's willing to take time from her family, because this is family time when she's asked to do that city business usually.
Right.
And serving the people. And she should be commended. And here she was on her time from her family to help another city employee, a retiring judge, and giving that judge the acolytes and stuff that he needed, so that he knows that he that it was an honor for him to serve.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole social function was full of judges and lawyers and police and everything else.
So, and she took time out of her day again to help honor him.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the woman. I don't know. I know that they're trying to raise a family, and that's the kids are doing good in school, and I like that. That's all I know.
Yeah. Well, interesting points there. The funny thing in life is that there's two sides to every story, and even if someone is, I don't know, it goes back to the idea that people make mistakes or would have done certain things differently maybe at times, and not commenting on this case or anything like that, but you just never know, and any set of circumstances can be made to look any way you want in life.
There you go.
And, we see that in a lot of cases. In this particular case, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Well, I could go on and on, but one of the problems, the main problem that I see is the P&T, vehicle and traffic laws, they're not laws. Most of them are just rules and regulations submitted by the Commissioner of Motor Vehicles without hardly any oversight from the New York State Legislature, especially back from in the...
Well, we see a lot of that with all sorts of state agencies, from SLA to the DEC to all of them, yeah. I mean, a lot of it's... they call it declarative rulings or administrative law or something like that, but it's really just sort of made-up stuff, and in many arenas. Again, not related to this case because I don't know the particulars, but yeah, I've seen that in with various agencies and so on.
Well, see, now they're saying about the breathalyzer and stuff. Now they're saying that when you signed your application for a license, you are giving your permission to.
Well, that's why there's a lot of people who don't have licenses and drive these days.
Well, that's the whole thing about it. You really don't need a license to drive. That's what happened was back in 1913 or whenever the first person that got a license, that's the person that should have been shot right there. Never should have got a license. And I know it sounds awful far-fetched for some of them that have been schooled in the government schools, but think of a better system, how much a better system would be if nobody had a license and you were held responsible for your actions. Now, if you go out there and hurt somebody or you hurt somebody's property, no big deal. Insurance pays for it or somebody else pays for it. You pay for it in the end, in the long term, but no. You should be, if you hurt somebody's property, no matter how you do it, with a vehicle or with a baseball bat, you should be held responsible.
Yeah. Well, interesting thoughts there, and appreciate your input on it because it's a contrarian view, I guess.
See you later.
All right, bye now. 755-1240 is the phone number. We'll be back with more in a moment.